Hey guys, welcome back to V-La-Nessa. Now today is a H-2B tip. I'm going to give you some travel guides, which I think is important because I kind of use it, and I know many of you are traveling for the first time and it can be nerve-wracking, and I would like to know that you are doing this the smoothest way possible. But before I go into that, please remember to like, share, and subscribe, turn on the post notification so that whenever I release a new video, you will be the first to know. First of all, I just want to say congrats to all those who have successfully landed themselves a job and in the process of booking their ticket, got their visa approval, or probably already in the UK, probably already in the US. So I know many of you are already here and trying to get yourself around. So I'm just going to say congrats. And for those who haven't and who have not been successful this year, listen, today for we, tomorrow I feel. So don't lose hope, just continue to educate yourself about it so that next year or next season you'll be ahead of everybody else. So don't give up. Not because you wanted to go right now, that means that God wanted you to know. Remember, you're not working off of man timing but God timing, and it could be that you need to finish some stuff back home before you come here. So don't lose hope and just continue, do what you have to do. For those who are in my group and have got positive response, got their visa and everything, please go into the group and shed some ray of hope in there. You know, send some positive message, let them know that hey, it is possible when you get it. And yeah, you don't have to go into details, but just keep them motivated, if you understand. Now, let's go into the meat of the matter. I'm going to share some travel guides with you because I don't want to stress when you're traveling. I want you to be as calm as possible and to just go with an easy flow, if you understand. So, my first tip is, and listen, it's not in no order. I am just giving you the tip as I go along. So my first tip is get all of the information that you can possibly get. Get the exact address that you'll be working, get where you'll be staying, the exact address, get contact numbers, emails, and all of these stuff. Now the reason why I'm saying this is because many times many person would travel and don't really have any information, don't know where they're going, and then things can happen and you don't know who to contact or where you're going. So just in case the person forgot to pick you up, you can give them a call and say hey, or if your flight is delayed, you can call them and say hey, my flight is delayed, so that they don't have to waste their time when they could be doing something else. So just get a contact information, and in the event anything happen, you have somebody to call. Say for instance, God forbid something happened on that day to the person who's supposed to pick you up. You need a direct address so that you can book an Uber and go there. Even if you cannot book an Uber and you have to stay the night somewhere, you can stay there with hope, knowing that tomorrow or so forth you can proceed. So get the direct address of where you've been staying and contact numbers, because we don't want you to be stranded in America. It is not all that safe, okay? Which lead me to my next point. Now, if it is that something happened and you have to book an Uber, or you have to book a hotel or a motel, or you have to do some additional spending, ensure that you have enough money. Not only enough, but more than enough, because you never know what can happen and you have to use the money. So it's either you have to use the money to book an Uber, you have to use the money to book a stay somewhere else, or you need it for food. So ensure that you have enough money. Don't just go there with, I understand that you come over here to work, right? But don't just come over here with just $100. Even though that can do a lot, but don't just come over here with nothing, hoping that you're going to get something from the employer, hoping that the employer is going to pick you up, hoping that nothing is going to go wrong. You never know. Life is just full of surprises and you never know what can happen. So don't just walk with the exact money. Walk with extra, get vexed money, as what we will say in Jamaica, just in case anything happen and you have to resort to something else. Okay? And guys, this video is not going to be long. It's going to be to the point because it's just a tip, because I know that a lot of you is traveling and you're going to need the guidance, and I just want you to use this as a reference to get you prepared in traveling. So my next tip is put all of your important documents close. So I know many of you may have like check-on bags or carry-ons and whatnot. Don't put your important documents in your check-on, because once the suitcase is check-on, you're not going to see it until you reach, and you may need these documents when you're going through TSA or immigration. Okay, so don't put it in your check-on. I wouldn't say don't put it in, well, I'm going to say don't put it in your carry-on. The reason why you can put it in a carry-on is because the carry-on is going to be with you and you can just go in a carry-on. But the reason why I'm saying don't put it in your carry-on is because we're trying to eliminate the amount of time that you don't have to waste, right? We try to eliminate waste time. So if you put it in your carry-on, then now you would have to be digging up the carry-on, looking in there. Put it in your personal bag, something that you can just go like this and take it out. So walk with your important documents such as your passport. Like if anybody ever put that in the check-on, they wouldn't even pass. Because they even need the passport to check on the bag. So I don't even know why I ever bring up that point. But you know, people do that. And when you reach at the airport, you have to dig up your suitcase. We're not smarter than that, right?
Just in case the people in the back need to hear.
Yeah, don't put it in your check-on bag. You're going to need your passport. You're going to need the DS form or the petition or that paper that is stamped in the, not stamped but stapled into your passport, or any documents that you may get from the agency or the embassy. Walk with those. If you have any information about your employer, any printed documents, anything that seems important, put it in your personal bag, just in case you have to draw for it. Because when you go to immigration, they're going to ask you a bunch of questions and they may ask you for some documents. So just to be on the safe side, ensure that your important documents is close so that you don't have to take 1,000,001 minute to grab it. Okay, remember, it's not in order, I'm just flowing. Another tip is to remind your employer that you're coming on the day. Now you may be saying, why do I need to remind them? They need to know, like they're supposed to know. No, we're all humans, things happen, we forget, especially me. If you tell me your name right now, in the next minute, I'm going to forget. Things happen, we're all human. So just send an email, call them, send a text, just say, gently reminder, today is my flight and I am expected to arrive X time, so that whenever you reach, you know that they're there waiting for you because they remember. Now if you don't remind them and they don't remember and the airport is like 2 hours away, that is you waiting at the airport 2 hours, if not more, because you may be waiting there, they don't even remember that you're there. This happened many times. So remind your employer on the day or the day before that you're traveling and the expected time of arrival. Another tip is to travel light. I know many of you coming from Jamaica, you want to bring up everything so that it reminds you of being in Jamaica. You want to bring up cocoa, yam and dasheen. scallion, onion and thyme, Maggi seasoning, chicken seasoning, beef seasoning, mango, all of these stuff, even though you cannot bring up it. You want to bring up everything. I understand that, right? Which, you know, wrong, no want to bring up lasco, no want to bring up curry. Yes, I know all of this. But think about the load. Think about the hustle and bustle. Think about you getting around. Say for instance, you go to an airport like Miami, right? And that airport is so big. You have to be struggling with 2 suitcases plus a carry-on and your personal bag just to go into the check-in. You understand? So if you now have probably just a 1 suitcase traveling, you can just pull that, go and pull that, go. By the way, you don't need a whole lot of things. I already told you what to pack. And if you don't know, just go and watch the video that I did. You don't need to pack enough. All you need is probably 2 jeans, 5 shirts, and couple baggy, couple underwears, because once you reach in America, you're going to buy stuff, and you don't want to bring all of your old stuff from Jamaica. You don't want to spend any money purchasing stuff that you can already buy here. You understand? Like for me, I came up. If you see the video, that is what I came up here with, right? And right now I have a box and 2 suitcases and a carry-on filled with stuff, and the box is like 2 suitcases, so that's 4 suitcases I have presently with a carry-on, right? And I only been here 1 year. So you're going to buy stuff and you don't need all of those baggages. The most important stuff that you're supposed to focus on is probably your seasoning. Really, depending on the state that you're going, you can get seasoning. All right, so you don't need to pack a whole lot of stuff, traveling with a whole lot of load. Lay down your burden. You don't need all of that to carry with you. So walk light, pack light, so that you can run just in case. And not only that, if you say for instance you have a suitcase and you know that you're going to check it on, right? Obviously you're not going to have the suitcase. But for those who have this whole big personal bag with things in it, ensure that it's something that is manageable. Ensure that it's something that is not weighing down on your back or on your shoulder and giving you aches and pain. No, we need to be stress free when we're traveling. So please pack light, okay? Just drop a comment down and say yes, I'm going to pack light. Thank you. As I talk about packing light, the next tip is dress comfortable. I understand that you may feel like you're going on a runway and you want to look nice and everything. Just when you come to America, people don't care what you look like. Well, for the most part, you could have your yard clothes. Once you come over here and you're going to the airport, you're going to see a diverse set of people. People don't watch people what they have on or anything. They don't care. So just comfortable. Don't put on these tight jeans where you cannot even sit down properly. These tight jeans that even if you want to go to the bathroom, you have to be forcing to take it off. Don't put on no long booty, because when you reach TSA, you have to take off your shoes anyway, and that is you lacing it up, and try to at least see if you can probably get a slip-on shoes or a Crocs or something. I'm not saying don't wear sneakers. Yes, you can wear sneakers, but just remember that you're gonna take off your shoes for the most part, depending on the airport that you go, because some of them you can just walk in, right? Just as comfortable. Don't want to dress with your breasts out. I'm not saying that you cannot. You can, but you don't want to have to keep on pulling up. No, something like this, very simple, very casual. And remember, where you're going, it could be very cold, so don't dress in this little short top things or whatever. Check the weather before you get there. It could be hot, it could be cold. Dress really comfortable. Another tip that I've been using, I never used to use it, right? When I was on J1, I probably used it like maybe for my last trip, my last J1 experience. But all of the other time I always just use the itinerary. But what I suggest, and I saw that is makes sense and it's much more easy, and it make everything just go flow easy, is to download the app. So if you're using Delta, if you're using Spirit, if you're using Frontier, if you're using all of the other American airline, JetBlue, Southwest, all of the other airlines, download their app and check in the day before. Guys, you would not believe how much time you will save yourself, because if you don't do this, you would have to join the check-in line, and sometimes these lines are long, especially when you're leaving from Montego Bay or Kingston, Jamaica. And listen, remember, it's not like we have a lot of airports. We only have 2 major airports, and people are leaving every day. Tourists and citizens leaving every day, going to different countries. And when you go into that check-in line, it is long, and sometimes you have to wonder if you're going to make it. All right, which is going to lead me to my next point. But checking on the app, when you check in on the app, you bypass all of that line. And not only that, if you have a check-on bag, try to pay for it online so that you don't have to join the line again. Even though there are kiosks, but sometimes they don't work, you understand? So even if you don't do it online, you can do it at the airport and pay for the luggage on the at the kiosks, and then print out the bag pass, right? But if you pay it online or the kiosk, you can go in past the line and drop the bag at the desk. They wait and they take it on, because guess what, all they really need is your passport to show that you actually pay for everything and everything is confirmed. Once you do that, you're good to go. Now if you don't do that, you have to join the line, and it's going to take forever sometimes. So download the app and check in, pay for whatever you need to pay for. And next point, subsection point, is that ensure that you're not overweight. Try to get a scale and weigh your check-on bag. And remember guys, for each airline you have different weight restriction. So just like for Spirit is 40 pounds, American Airlines is 50 pounds. So you can't be traveling with Spirit and your suitcase is more than 40 pounds. You're gonna pay your overweight price, right? So remember to check all of the restrictions, know what and what you cannot bring and you can bring on each airline. Ensure that you try to get a scale and weigh your suitcase before you reach it, because in the event you reach there and your suitcase is overweight, then you may have to take out some of the stuff and send them back home, or you may have to pay the extra fee for overweight. So know all this. Now what I did, in 2017 I bought a suitcase scale. All I need to do is to lift it up, let it stay there for a while, and then it tell me the weight. It's not really working right now properly, but the other day when I was traveling, what I did, I got the scale. That's the body scale, the one that you stand on, and I stand up on it and I see my actual weight. When I got my actual weight, I wrote it down, and then I took up my suitcase in my hand and then I went back on it and I hold it and I minus my actual weight from the one that is on there, and then that tell me the weight of my suitcase, and it worked for me. So you can do that and it may work for you. So yeah, and the next point, doing all of this, right, try to be at least 2 hours early. And we know Jamaicans, if your flight is 10 o'clock, I know that you're going to be there at 6 o'clock in the morning, because that's how Jamaican is. Everything else you're late for. We're late for your own funeral, but for the flight, we're not late in. So I know that I don't need to tell you this, but I'm just telling you just in case somebody
need to hear it, okay?
Try to be there at least 2 hours early, just in case anything happens. You cannot find a gate, or you don't understand certain stuff, or there's a delay in something, or there's traffic on the road. Try to be there. Well, if there's traffic on the road, then you would have to be on the road before the 2 hours. So say for instance, right, it takes you 1 hour to reach the airport and you need to be there 2 hours before, right? your flight is at 11, ensure that you leave around 8:30, 9 o'clock so that you can reach on time. Okay, so be there on time, because you never know what can happen. You never know if your suitcase overweight. Even though me tell you say, yo, ensure that your suitcase not overweight, but if you do overweight, you may have to resort to something else. So just be on time so that you don't miss your flight. Okay, another thing, I know, and I do this a lot, but I'm going to tell you just in case. You know, whenever you're going somewhere, you're so anxious that you don't even remember about eating, even though you have some people who not leave out them food. But for those who are anxious and get about food, just focus on everything else, try to eat something. If it's even to eat some crackers and some tea, get something in your stomach, because you never know how long the flight is. You never know if there's going to be a delay, and you may not want to buy anything at the airport because the airport is expensive. But just in case, and remember I told you to bring money, you know, right? So if you have the money, you can buy something to eat while you're at the airport. But if you don't want to buy anything at the airport, try to get something at home. Eat something before. So you would have to wake up extra early just to get yourself some breakfast, because you're going to be on a plane. Some of the airlines don't provide food, don't provide snacks. You have to buy everything. For American Airline, they give you a little cookie and some juice, right? Which is kind of good. Spirit, they don't really give you anything. You have to pay for it. So just eat something, especially if your flight is long. Try to get something to eat before, because you don't want to feel bad on the plane. And try not to eat anything that is going to run your belly. So if you just forget about the curry, you understand that you don't want to eat anything that's going to send you to the bathroom. Which leads me to my next point. Ensure that you use the bathroom before you get on the plane. Because for one, it's cold, so you're going to want to urinate, especially if you drink a lot of water. Nothing is wrong if you use the bathroom on the plane, you know. But just to ensure that you have enough time to relax, because when the plane is in the air, you cannot get enough. You're not supposed to get up, right? So in that little window, ensure that you're good and you don't need to go to the bathroom, because you're going to piss up yourself right next to the people who are standing beside you. You don't want that, do you? So use the bathroom. So use the bathroom that's in the airport. Release your bladder. If you feel like you want to number 2, do that, because you don't have to stink up the airplane.
You can imagine you still on the plane and then the whole thing just stink up. No sir, that not safe. Even though that never happened to me, that I don't know if it ever happened to anyone yet. And I hope it hasn't, because can you imagine in the year and the place just stink and they said not have nowhere to go? No, they must have some kind of ventilation in the bathroom for eliminate that, because
anyway, I'm straying from the whole thing because I'm just thinking about it. But yeah, just use the bathroom before you get on the plane. And guys, I know that I may miss out a lot of stuff that I could have said, but I'm just stating the obvious. And yeah, my last tip is get some rest. So before your flight, ensure that you sleep. I understand that yes, you cannot sleep before your flight, or you have to be doing some late packing and everything. Ensure that you pack like days before, even a week before. I've already the necessary stuff that I need to bring with you. I've already documents in the bag. Ensure that everything is ready and put down so that you don't have to be doing last minute packs. So when you have all of the things then prepared, get some rest, sleep, because there are times that the flights are delayed. There are times that you may miss your flight. God forbid you miss your flight, and you're gonna be in the airport up, and even when you try to sleep in the airport, you're not gonna get the amount of rest that you want, because it's gonna be a constant flow of people, noise, people over the intercom coming in. Like, you're not going to get the rest that you're going to need. So ensure that you get enough rest so that you can go throughout the day energized. You understand? Okay, so that is my tip for you guys, for those who are traveling. Sorry for those who already done travel and needed this tip and never get it. But the other day I was just traveling and I was like, I need to give you guys some travel tips, because I realized since I've been traveling, recently, like a lot. It has been so easy for me knowing all of these acts, if you understand. So with that being said, travel safe, be safe, and all the best, guys. And if you reach this far in the video and you have not yet subscribed, like, what are you waiting on? Where are we? Subscribe, turn on the post notification so that whenever I release a new video, you will be the first to know. And tell a friend to tell a friend to tell another friend, but tell a friend. You understand? Alright, see you later. Bye.